And we are taking part in the Fast Forward Careers Inspiration Project.
And today we're recording an interview with Claire Shaw, who is a Senior HR, so Human Resources Manager with Santander. Okay, so could you tell us a bit about your job?
Yes, so I look after, within Santander, the finance function and the audit function, which is two divisions of people, of about 500 people altogether. And I look after the management team of those two divisions, and I help them decide what they're going to do with their people day to day and month to month in order to get the best out of them, to enable to do their jobs as well as possible, and to make sure everyone's ready for where the bank needs to go in the future.
Okay, and how did you become a Senior HR Manager?
So I started working in recruitment, first of all, interviewing people for jobs in a different company. And then in that company, they had a job where I could go and work more in an HR general kind of role, where I did lots of different things, not just the recruitment. And they also helped me complete a study called CIPD, which is the kind of professional qualification for people in HR. They helped me complete that. And then I was able from there to move to Santander and get the job with them.
Okay, and what experience prepared you for your current role?
I think actually dealing with people as you do in HR, it's everything that you learn throughout your life about different individuals and how different people react, because I can go and do the same thing with 6 different people and it will work 6 different ways and I'll get 6 different reactions to that. And a lot of it is just learning what they call people skills, dealing with people, being able to listen to people, influence people. So actually, some of it I learned through my studies, some of it I learned through the other jobs that I've been in, and some of it's just naturally kind of getting older and growing up as a person and dealing with other people that you learn. So I think I've got experience from everywhere in my life that's helped me with my job at the moment.
And what did your job involve on a daily basis?
So this morning I was in the office in Manchester before I came here, and I went to meet quite a senior manager there because I'm just starting to work with his division in Santander. So I sat down with him for an hour and he told me all about what they do, what the people do on a daily basis, how many there are, where they're based, what they're good at, what they need to learn and develop in. And we agreed how I could help him do that for his people going forward. So quite a lot of its meetings. Our big head office is in London. So I go there most weeks, but I'm not there every day. So when I'm not in that office in London, I work from my house. So I have a study in the house and I have a laptop and a phone and I work from there. So I actually spend a lot of time in meetings, but on the telephone. So we do teleconferences because we've got people spread all around the country and there isn't always time to get everyone together to come to one place for a meeting. So we have a way of speaking by phone where we can actually get work done, and I can work on my own, and then I travel to London and I have meetings with people. So yeah, it's a lot of talking, I have to say, and quite often in my job what I'm trying to do is to get other people to do things. So my job is to try and help them to, manage people better, work with people better in a different way. So a lot of it is me suggesting and recommending and trying to encourage them to do things differently. So yeah, I suppose the talking's the common thing that I do every day.
And what is the most challenging thing about your job?
I think what I find really challenging, it's fresh in my mind actually because we did this last week, is unfortunately when you work in HR, sometimes when you're recruiting and a company's growing, you're getting people in and that's great, but other times when the company changes what it's trying to do or just wants to do something differently, we end up taking jobs away, unfortunately. So last week I was in Manchester with about 15 people and I had to tell 4 or 5 of them that they didn't have a job anymore, and that's a process that we'd gone through, and some of them got very upset because they'd worked there for a very long time. And I think mostly my job, I don't get very close to the people that I'm talking about, but last week was me sitting in front of some people and it made me realise how much of an impact what I'm doing is having on sometimes a person's life, and that was really tough because it's a tough world out there. People have got bills to pay and some of them had worked for Santander for a really long time, so I found that really hard, I'll be honest. It was a hard day.
You took money banking and finance with Spanish degree. What made you decide to choose that particular course?
Well, I'd spoken to my careers advisor at school and I was trying to do something that combined business and finance with a language, because those are the things I enjoyed doing, and that's what I thought would give me the most chance of getting an interesting job in that field. Although ultimately when I'd finished it wasn't really what I wanted to do. That was the reason why I started with that course, and it's just a bit of a coincidence really that I've ended up working at a Spanish bank with that course, because I don't really use it very much in what I do day to day now. I don't even really use the Spanish language, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. But the fact that I got the degree and managed to get quite a good grade has helped me progress through the different jobs that I've had. So.
Okay, had you heard about your job when you were at school?
No, I didn't really know what human resources was about, what it meant. I think I thought it was probably something that wasn't really that worthy of much. I didn't think you'd probably get paid very well. So I suppose I had heard of it, but that was it. I didn't really know anything about it at all. So I just, rather than looking into it, which I wish I had done, I just ignored it and tried to pursue other things which actually didn't really suit me in the end. So yeah, I didn't really know much about it at all.
Okay, what do you love most about your job?
I think what I really like the most about this job I'm in now is that I get to do, even though I'm not a senior person myself, even though it says senior in my job title, I'm not, I'm about in the middle of the levels in the bank, I'm somewhere in the middle, but the people that I deal with every day are the people who sit right at the top, who run the bank on a daily basis, and I get to go and talk to them, find out what they're trying to do, and sit in meetings with them where people who are my level in their own division, they don't get to see that senior person very much. So I'm getting access to people who are basically running the bank, even though I'm not running the bank with them. And I find that really exciting and challenging. And you hear about things in the press, in the news about what's going on in banking, and sometimes they will have spoken to me about it before it even goes out in the news. And I just find that quite exciting to be involved in something as it's developing, really.
Okay. What advice would you give to young people interested in choosing your career choice?
I think just explore it a bit more, do a bit more research that I didn't do, and I think there's degrees out there, there's lots of studies, diplomas and things that you can do that relate to human resources if you think it's the way to go, and it's got a very definite career path within it that you can move around and progress in. I suppose the other thing I would say as well is, even if you're studying something that ends up not being your career choice, just try and focus on getting really good grades as much as you can, even if you think I'm never going to do this again, it's not what I want to do. I think that's the one thing I've learned from being your sort of age to where I am now, that just try and do your best in what you're doing, even if it's not going to carry on, because actually later on in your career or straight away, the fact that you've got those good grades and you've worked hard and you've got all those things you can talk about makes a difference somewhere else, even though you wouldn't think that it would. So I think just do the best that you can, even if you're not sure where you're going, because eventually it'll all come together. Promise.
Yes. We'd like to say thank you for giving up your time today to talk to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.